Everybody loves playing against eco rounds. It's a great time to boost your KD, find your rhythm, or even build up some ults. But what if I told you that when Paper X are the ones saving, their win rate skyrockets? Because throughout the entire duration of Master Santiago, their matches would look like this. Win an eco, steamroll out of control. Win a bonus, steamroll out of control. Win an eco, steamroll out of control! But how? Statistically, these rounds should be damn near unwinnable. Why are Paper X so good at them? And how do they go on such dominant win streaks after winning 150? Well, there's one team that's managed to avoid that same fate and extinguish Paper X's flames. Nongshim Red Force, the winners of Master Santiago. Teets, you should take a break. Yeah, how do you manage to post so much and stream on Twitch? He's right, partner. You're overworking yourself. Guys, I appreciate you all looking out for me, but I promise I have enough free time. Especially because I don't have to cook with my subscription to Cook Unity. These are legit gourmet, never frozen meals made by award-winning chefs from across the country. That means restaurant quality food delivered fresh to my door. Just pop it in the microwave for a few minutes, or you can use your oven if you're not lazy like me, but either way tastes great. And would you look at that? I'm eating better food than you would find in most restaurants with zero hassle. I don't have to grocery shop, do dishes, or anything. But Cook Unity is actually better than going to the grocery store because I usually end up throwing most of what I buy away anyways. And I'm eating way healthier too. There are hundreds of chef-crafted dishes every week, and I can easily filter out exactly what I'm looking for. A high protein, keto, paleo, low carb, vegan, whatever my goal is that week. It's like having a private chef without spending $1 billion. So if you're like me and want to eat gourmet foods without doing any work, then use my link in the description to get 50% off your first week with Cook Unity. And now, before we talk about how Nongshim are stomping Paper X's ecos into the dirt, we need to figure out what makes these low buys so good for PRX. When you hear the name Paper X, you automatically assume aggressiveness, or run it down, brain dead pushes, and you'd be right. These specific superstars thrive in chaos. They want rounds to spiral out of control to the point that no one knows what's going on. Because that's their unnatural habit as a team that always does the unthinkable. Now on ecos, you want to play like this because you have worse weapons. Push spawn, swing, make a play, run it down. You should want to take risks and the other team by surprise so you can pick up their rifles and win the round for your squad. But doing so is a lot harder said than done. Here, Paper X are gambling mid-open in their 3-0-2 and want to try and farm an ultra early for Jing's rocket launcher. And now Energy are headed right for them. But with their Viper on the wing and a couple rifles plus a Stinger, they should be okay. By having a lone pistol wander off from your team like this, they can gather valuable info while not putting a lot on the line. The round starts with both teams lobbing an aid for some thorns and Juggamo running ahead of Ethan's dog up to the choke and past Forsaken's dark cover. Paper X back down, but not out.
And personal here with a stinger.
Oh my god, but there's 3 players. Divide, Jing, all there. Expecting that paranoia swing though, so they already shift back a little bit deeper.
Paper X were waiting for some sign that the offense have committed past the smoke before filling up half of B main with Forsaken's paranoia. This 3-person push has scared Energy away, but on A, Paper X feel like they can move up and take free space due to all that commotion. But as Envy peaks, him and Scuba exchange ahead for a body shot. Scuba's 1 HP, but lucky for him, his team's here.
Envy with a trade out. Look at the damage on Scuba there.
Actually misreading this a little bit. We're going to go for try and convert that.
As soon as something saw Jagamo's jump spot, he knew his ass was toast if he stuck around. And Envy barely escapes too. And now back on B, Brock decided to hang around and see just how far Paper X were willing to push. Instead, he's heard them start rotating. So he doesn't pop his flash and instead dry peeks main and creeps his way up to the choke. But the defense have told Forsaken that Energy isn't out of A yet, and to go back.
Is going to want to get up close.
Brock slipped the net.
More.
Oh, not again!
Okay, hold on. Energy have half of the map, 3 guns, and are up a player. How do Paper X win this? Well, it starts by Device slow walking through spawn and Brock slow walking through heaven. But look at the pings! Paper X know Brock could be up here.
No, dude, there ain't
He doesn't look left, right? He doesn't look left.
Right?
Oh,
look at these
left.
2. Yeah, the crowd makes him turn.
After taking ramp, the defense heard Energy run away. So after something peeked into A main and cleared the area, he called that Brock has to have a sick timing somewhere. So that's why he turned around after clearing spawn. But now Energy have to go B. They gave up all other map control. And PaperX know this. Devi leaks out, gets blinded by Ethan's bird, but he can't escape. His teammates need to flood out and take these fights.
Does note that the progression from Devi is there. He should be on site, so they should be aware of this. Heads up work needs to come down. Stun comes in, Envy strikes.
Envy even the count by quickly peeking through this heaven smoke and fighting with his Haunt and Viper. But Energy still have 3 guns, and Envy's 1 shot. It's by this time that Jing and Something have completed their flank, and notice how Energy only have 3 players left. So their plan now is to send a PaperX member up each lane, as Energy should have only 1 person posted on each. When you're down or retaking, you want to take 1v1s.
He's got a rifle.
Yeah, and it's only a classic with Jing. That's pretty tough. The others with a little bit more punch to it, but Ethan helping a touch of damage, right? Has a little bit look back towards Something, and now Jing's at the door. Oh no, Marta! Marta is just being toyed with Jing!
Look at their HP!
Being devious about it, and you're right, look at the HP! 3 for Something, 5 for Envy, Scuba! A breeze would take them down! But it doesn't!
Even if you have the best weapons in the game, nothing, and I mean nothing, will beat the power of playing with your teammates. Notice on this retake, Ethan gets chipped but realizes that Jing won't give him an easy kill. So he swings Heaven instead and fights Something solo. Yes, Mata has a stinger, but by this point, it's too late. And Scuba's also in a spot where he can't fight with his team either. He's worried about spawn. Once Ethan falls, Jing does a great job of distracting Energy so that Something and Envy can come out of spawn at 1 HP. Envy scaled up the right side, isolated Mata while Something held his swing, and Scuba ended up being double swung. If you're going to beat PaperX, you need to fight together and not let them section off the 1v1s they want, or create the chaos they're looking for. Now, not only do eco rounds favor PaperX, but also this meta. Because Riot nuked Sentinels and Initiators back in patch 11.08, most teams have opted for either double duelist or double controller, meaning it's harder for teams to have a good read, snuff stacks, or hold sites. The best way to get info or anchor in this meta is to fight with numbers or do things that your enemies won't expect. This could be instant set pushes as the round starts, mid-round reclears, or when you have worse weapons, 4-stack A. Now, this setup isn't as random as you'd think. In G2's last matchup against Nungshim Red Force, they contacted A main after their Sky made noise on B. So here, PaperX have the read. Even if they don't, look at Devi's setup. As the run starts, he places his wall deep, has a Razorvine to stop a push, and then another Thorns and Flash in spawn. This amount of stall should allow PaperX to stay bundled as 4 and continually move through the map, steamrolling whoever gets in their way. But despite having 4 near the spawn barrier, the defense aren't pushing. Instead, PaperX start by smoking and prowling bottom mid to make it seem like they're taking that. And I think that noise has made G2 feel safe to start walking.
Toxic screen. Oh, this could get very messy very quickly. The wall to fall. And it's a firing squad here from PaperX. 3 players immediately gone. It's just Valorant and Trent to try to hold their own, to hold on to these weapons. Valorant can only find 1. They are not going to let him live. Forsaken will find it.
By Forsaken raising his wall, he made G2 think that, oh, the defense are probably playing back, let's go, before dropping it and revealing that 4 people were holding this line. Now, it's not like G2 did anything wrong, they either just got red or unlucky. But then PaperX went on a big-ass win streak. Here, PaperX have elected to 4-stack mid with their bonus buy and have Envy play for info install on A. And now all gamers, and I'm not talking you and me, no PaperX like to get aggressive. So in their 2-1-2, they're waiting for a push and are making a decision based on what they see. But AU1 is about to see a lot.
Your duelist at the very least. AU1 just dealing with something right off the rip.
Okay, there's a bunch mid, but AG know that PaperX aren't just going to stop. So AU1 picks up Market and Kira backs down to hold for a window push. And now the defense want to move after just showing so many in mid. Forsaken and his Outlaw go back to Elbow through Street, while the rest of his team groups near A main and send out their Owl Drone. It flies all the way down and peeks deep into attacker territory. No one's there. But PaperX still want to keep moving. Jing and Envy immediately back down and leave their Vice to anchor sight. But what about mid? Well, on Pearl, mid isn't really necessary as it doesn't really shorten rotation times for defenders. I explain that more in this video here. Just know it's kinda overrated. So since mid was clear and A was empty, process of elimination has convinced Jing and Envy to sprint through spawn to join Forsaken on B. The attackers in the meantime have finally convinced themselves that Paper X aren't pushing and Reprowler mid 30 seconds in. It's empty! And because Fangir hasn't seen anything all around, AG's decision is to split B. Neon falls and joins her team at doors while Kira partners with Fangir in club.
You to see what you do at the extremities, seeing what you do in mid, looking for a counterplay, you know, off of their own protocols. That's how they get these first kills. That's how they kind of put Paper X on the back foot. See if they can hold the line.
They've slotted things in correctly here. 3 players towards B to try to hold off this pressure being applied. Swoop in the corner, relay bolt going to be dodged. Forsaken able to find one, AU1 eliminated. As Jing has managed to find Shrimp before falling to Fangir's hands. Forsaken repeat, Kira now eliminated. 2 players left alive, now just the one. Fangir trying to make a go of it.
How come whenever I see a B split, it is never done right? In order to get out from street, you need to have your long players down and ready to go. Otherwise, you're going to get stuffed by every angle imaginable. As AG are trying to come out, you have Jing, Envy, and Forsaken all trained on them. A constant utility and bullet spam until finally Fangir and Kira come out from long. But by then, it was too late. The offense didn't feel confident to clear the Outlaw and Elbow, while Envy dropped out of heaven, but his movement landed him behind Pillar so he could fight with his team. It doesn't matter what weapon you have, Paper X are efficient with every gun in the game, even the bad ones. So if you're not using your weapon advantage as a team against Paper X, you're going to lose. Like here, G2 have taken site without suffering any major casualties. But Paper X is just going to steamroll them anyways.
Jaw, though, denied vision, but no real sweat yet. Flash turned, back to business. Good tee up for something. Defy, Envy, hold on. It ain't done yet. Leaf now needs a 1v3. This guy's been good, though, but you ain't getting away from Defy.
G2 are not playing together. Neon's in a one and done with no stun to stall a retake. And these smokes cuck the offense. First, this one way allows the defense to flood up from Rafter completely safely. Then combined with this poison orb, and Babybay's position is completely useless. He can't even swing backside because someone from spawn will instantly kill him. So, Leaf's watching flank, Babybay's high as hell with all that smoke, and Jogamo's in a one and done. With these abilities, Paper X have basically made this a 5 versus 3. Babybay needs to recognize that the offense aren't going to push their own one way and fight with his team. Trent swung, then Valen, then Babybay, then Leaf. All one at a time like people in my ranked games. Paper X don't need guns, they just need each other. Okay, Teets, we get it. Play with your teammates, blah, blah, blah. But how do Paper X win like 80 rounds after winning a Thrifty? Well, Jimmy, we need to talk about momentum, which is a very real thing in competitions. Doesn't it feel good to win a round that you shouldn't? To do something crazy and it just works? Or just have teammates who are fun to play with? Well, these positive emotions lead to more winning. Momentum in competition is backed by sports psychology and behavioral science. Researchers describe psychological momentum as a real mental state where success increases confidence, motivation, and focus, which in turn makes future success more likely. Studies show that after positive plays, athletes experience heightened belief and determination, creating what scientists call a success breeds success effect. This is closely tied to the hot hand phenomenon, where previous success can statistically increase the likelihood of continued success in real game situations. Data from competitive CSGO matches found that disrupting a team's momentum, like calling a timeout or tech pauses, significantly changes their chances of winning the next round, proving that this mental state directly impacts performance. On top of that, momentum doesn't just affect individuals, it can shift team-wide behavior, decision-making, and confidence, leading to huge swings in outcomes. When a team is feeling it, their reactions, brains, and choices actually change. Good vibes aren't just a nice thing to have, they're a competitive advantage. And that's what you're giving Paper X when you fumble these anti-ecos. Once Paper X gets started, it is impossible to stop them. Just listen to any of their voice comm videos or just watch their vibes. But if Paper X are getting stomped, negative emotions can do the opposite. Now, we all know that the grand finals of Santiago were kind of a snooze fest, but Nongshim Red Force handled their anti-ecos masterfully. And had other teams played these like them, I don't think PaperX make it to the grand finals. The offense eventually won an NB in their 4-1-0, while the defense are mostly playing far back in their 2-1-2. Positioning themselves this passively? That's important, remember that. The run begins and Divide places his flash past RB Smoke as the offense smoke B main and Prowler behind it. This default forces Francis back and has gotten PaperX some space. With it, something backs down to go help Divide pressure mid next. But before he gets there, Divide pops his flash and swings through the bot mid smoke. He slots into Cubby, and something swings through too. But this noise has attracted another defender.
Downbeat just trying to keep note. These angles around mid. Spawn to Divide. Relay bolt gonna be popped in there. Divide barely survives.
Nongshim have reclaimed mid, but that's what PaperX wanted, to make B weaker.
Away, quite literally 1 HP. Thought some of that might have been decay damage, but no. He's taken down to that single digit. Meanwhile, Forsaken leading the charge, pushing forward with that shorty in hand. Will be to his doom, but that second layer coming in, Jing.
That's a win condition for the offense, but it came at a hefty price. Notice how at the first sign of an execute, Ivy fell back deep into elbow and got 1.5. But most ranked players would have just sat on site and tried to farm their ecos. But Nongshim know that time and time again, if you let PaperX to site, they will overwhelm you. So in situations like these, you have to play back and abuse your gun advantage as a team, not individually. Now, yes, Ivy did die on his own, but he did a lot of damage and got a kill anticipating this push. In order to defuse, Nongshim needs spawn. So Danby, Francis, and RB grouped and headed that way, leaving Xross on his own. But look at how passive he's playing. Xross ripped a Prowler to make sure no one's pushing him and is now just waiting. He understands that if he dies, Nongshim will lose, no matter what guns they have. Xross is solo holding so much map control. The defense need to retake through 2 or 3 chokes, and losing this market position will cook any chance at a retake. So since he has nothing to do, he stares at mid and finishes off Divide. He's doing his job, now it's up to these 3 to do theirs.
Nongshim in with a player advantage. Spectre in the hands of something, however, as well as that bandit for Envy. Certainly has to be a consideration and a concern. It's a double swing there at Heaven, but Danby able to flush them both out. Now it's just Xross to find the finisher, and Nongshim.
Then later this game, PaperX are in a similar setup where they want to go B, and Nongshim are playing Wait, Francis, why are you pushing?
See, PaperX realizes their own tricks.
Oh, they didn't send it into the corner, but something is swinging out a little bit wider.
Normally, that against the PaperX eco would be too much for my taste. But the offense just called a timeout, so I don't think they'd expect a judge because they'd be so focused on their game plan. And it's not like Ivy wasn't here to help him. Sorta. He tried breaking the Vice Flash, Prowler, but immediately ran away, not wanting to get pounced on. Francis has a teleport. He'd be fine. The last thing Nongshim want to do is give that gun to PaperX. Plus, after teleporting, Francis had an op waiting for him, and they're playing far back just like we saw before. PaperX wouldn't expect this after seeing the judge. But look at Forsaken! He's used this noise to try and find a timing into elbow.
One shot. Francis exits with 5 HP. Meanwhile, RB catching Forsaken again.
RB knows that PaperX would try something ballsy like that. But Forsaken did get far, meaning no one was A main. So the offense decide to back all the way out and sprint through spawn while RB clears the rest of elbow. On their way back, you can see Forsaken ping where he died from and where RB could be. But wait, why is he going back towards main?
Who at times looks like just a genius with some of his lurks, but RB beat him to the punch.
He's playing a very deep angle. He's only going to be able to find one more, so weapon going to be given over.
I wrote this whole fucking script just for you to be stupid! Wait, I think Nongshim are just worried about someone else that could have made it all the way through spawn with his Viper Wall. So to avoid being pinched, RB decided to fight main. Don't believe me? Well, then why else would Neon be looking at spawn? And after RB dies, why is Xross looking at site? But at least he's still playing back. Is Xross going to overcommit trying to protect this rifle?
Going to be able to find one more, so weapon going to be given over. Francis at 5 HP, that could end up being costly, but Xross again! Continues to hold the door. Puts Ching to 45 before he finally falls, and Danby now perfect position. Will find the punish in Nongshim.
With Omen playing this far up, maybe PaperX thought Nongshim were still rotating over? But Xross's crisp aim has destroyed the offense for focusing too hard on the rifle, as it really was their only win condition. And now recently, I broke down how Nongshim destroyed PaperX's world best split. And that game was littered with Nongshim handling ecos like gods. Just watch here and notice how Nongshim are always grouped and using their weapon advantage to their advantage. And on Abyss, there was more of the same. On this half-buy, PaperX have a big fake plan in their 2-0-3, who are set up in their own 2-0-3. The buy barriers fall, and something swiftly enters the Dimensional Drift and spots Dambi.
Drift here. Try to use it to get a Hunter's Fury to connect, but Tombi's just jumping around.
Just cannot track him down. Looking for the exit and something. Fallen. Francis forward.
Notice how against PaperX's half-buys, no one crosses these buy barrier lines except for Francis. With a near instant get-out-of-jail-free card, he's the only one who can safely gather info for his team. Look at everyone else's position, and you'll notice how they're playing extremely passive. Yeah, X-Ross is jiggle-peeking main, but he has a whole spiderweb to fall back into. But PaperX's plan was to use Something's ult to help Envy aim his Hunter's Fury. That sounds great on paper, but when you're trying to blast a waylay, good luck. And because Francis hopped onto Danger and heard no one else following this big laser, he was screaming to his team to hold their ground. Then once they get back to A, look at how far back on site Nongshim plays. But they don't want PaperX coming out of the choke either, and are going to snuff their momentum before it can start.
Francis forward, finding Envy at window. Meanwhile, an exec attempt over on the A side of the map.
But the Cypher util is here.
The tripwires are still there, and so too is Ivy. Finds the first, gets the second!
Nongshim deal with ecos extremely well, and over time, people are going to get better and better with these low-buy weapons. So that means you need to play like Nongshim too. That also means learning how to spam broken weapons. The Judge, Outlaw, Op, Nongshim abused all three to steal PaperX's best map in the Grand Finals. Watch that video here.